Lifestream gets to partner with lots of great ministries, and Patrick runs Remembrance Ranch. It's a group that we've been partnering for a few years now, and takes 8 to 10 middle school students on a trip, but does a lot more than that. It really partners with their family and them for the entire year or longer, and helps students really get something really special. It's more than just a camp experience, but something really part of their family. So why did you start this?
Remembrance Ranch is very dear to my heart, and the reason why I do this is because I was one of those kids back when I was younger, and I struggled with school. I got into some bad stuff, drugs, alcohol. I was in and out of runaway homes. I even spent time in rehab and as a freshman in high school. And when I think about those experiences, I know now that there was a reason why I had to go through those things, and I didn't know that then, but I know that now, that I can use those experiences in order to expand God's kingdom, and that's really why I'm doing what I do. My past I got a lot of hurts from my past, but I wouldn't change it. It's because of those past experiences that I can speak into the lives of these kids in a way that other people can't. When they hear about my story, those walls tend to come down a lot easier. And that's the same with all of the staff at the ranch. They all are expected to bring their past with them and to talk about it openly and talk about how God has used those experiences and they've learned from that, how they've grown. And that's why we do this, is because the kids tend to really connect with that, and it helps to begin that transformation process.
What's been you've been doing it a couple of years, what's been some of the long-term results of connecting with some of those students, how you've seen some things turn around?
Yeah, I was here 2 years ago, and I talked about a teen that went through our program. And just to give a quick recap, this kid almost did not get accepted into our program. We tend to work with kids that are just starting to struggle in school and at home, not necessarily in juvenile detention. We really try to be proactive and catch them before they get too far along. And this particular kid was really struggling. He actually had to go see a psychiatrist in order to get approval to come to our program. And he was also a very vocal atheist. And it was through our program that he actually opened up and started talking about some of the past hurts that he had, and he ended up accepting Christ through our program. I was able to lead him to Christ on the trail. It was just such an awesome experience to hear this kid, this 12-year-old kid, praying to God for the first time and really asking God to be part of his life. And, it's that kid that actually came back this summer and took a kind of a leadership role with the teens. He wasn't part of staff. He was still a teen. He still had some struggles that he was trying to work through. And he came back, and I wanted to I brought his, we have a youth social worker and a family social worker that work with us. And the youth social worker writes a post-program report on the teens, and that goes back to the family and to the teachers at the school. And I just want to read a couple things from his report. It said, Andrew stepped up many times during camp and held others accountable, led activities, and often prayed out loud, which he did quite often. He's able to take control when needed, and often with the horses, as Andrew had a stubborn and rather unmotivated horse. We do a personal development plan when they come in. And this is funny because one of the things that he put on his goals for camp, he wrote that he needed to work on his lack of motivation. And so it was funny to see him get this horse, how God works in funny ways, this horse that would not move and was so unmotivated, and he had to work through those issues with that horse. And it was really just neat to see how our therapists worked with him on that and talked through, what does it mean at home when you have that lack of motivation? Wow. So it was really neat how God did that. Just real quick, this was a letter from his mom that we received after his mom read through the report. It said, "He's been a pleasure to be at home, singing and praying and stepping up to help so much more. This experience boosted his confidence and helped him see how much people enjoy interacting with him. He has shown off his Bible and really seems to enjoy reading Romans. We are going to get our family to church."
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah. That is that is amazing. So same as kind of Sandra, how can that person over there plug in to what you're doing?
There are a few ways that everybody can get involved. One of those ways is as a prayer partner. And this is something that you can do from home with your family. We've had some families do this together. They actually sponsor a family. So one of our families will give you some confidential, we don't give names out, but we give you some specific information that you can pray for a family. And then we especially during the program time, we have a blog where you can become a cheerleader for the teens, because they don't necessarily get that from home. And so it's nice to have a prayer partner jump onto the blog and say, hey, great job on that ropes course, or, hey, I'm praying for you for this struggle that you have. And it really goes a long way for these teens just to know that someone's praying for them. So that's one way. Another way is we collect supplies when we're moving up to our program week for the teens. We actually had one teen this summer that came to the program, and he had tennis shoes on that had holes the size of like a golf ball in the bottom, and his feet were literally hanging out. And so one of our ranch staff members actually switched shoes with him one day when it was really wet in the horse pasture, and just realized how horrible that this kid had been walking in these shoes for a couple days. And we had somebody drive out and actually meet us with a new pair of boots for this kid. And it was just so cool just to see him get those boots, and he was able to use those for the week and then take them home with him. So things like that, underwear, socks, T-shirts, jeans, shoes, things that these kids just come to camp and they don't have. We also do school supplies, too, for the kids. We help the whole family. So, whether it's the teen that we're working with or one of their siblings that maybe needs some school supplies. Unfortunately, a lot of the families have some financial struggles, too, and so we try to help out with that kind of thing, too. The last way, real quick, is we have multiple follow-up events that we do with the teens, and we're always looking for volunteers to help just be part of those events.